Well, I train like honestly like 5 days a week. I still lift hard. Like I'm getting ready for meets and everything still, but obviously I'm much weaker because I have
Mm-hmm.
lost muscle mass for sure. I've lost 35 pounds, about 16 kilos since November. So it's been a significant weight drop.
I lost 65.
Did you really? Wow, accomplishment. That's incredible. So you,
115 kilos to 86, but that's the fasting mimicking diet also. I literally look like my little brother right now. My
yeah, you
younger
look
little
much
brother.
younger. Your face. I think you really did that. Like you actually made yourself younger. I think because
I
of
think
not
so.
not
Yeah.
just expressions. I think there's actually a rejuvenating element.
I
Genuine.
think that this parasympathetic state that I was in, like cranked all the time on steroids and pre-workout.
But you don't realize it, right? When you're on it, you
No.
don't realize. Yeah,
Not to go
that there's
off,
this.
and that's why I made this video. I feel like a better person, honestly, because I'm more productive for work. I'm less focused on training, even though I miss it, obviously. I respond to situations better, and less impulsive and aggressive. Even though people see me smiling behind the YouTube, it doesn't mean I'm not impulsive, right? Because people only see like a little amount of what the person is on YouTube. So I overall feel like a better person being off cycle, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to get back to training and go back to at least hormone replacement, to pick up my passion. But what I noticed is I dropped like 80%, 75% of my strength when I was still lifting. And my body went also down with a comparable amount. So did you notice the same thing, Pete? When you dropped a certain amount of body weight, and your strength came down with a comparable percentage?
Yeah, so my strength has dropped off quite a bit, but obviously part of that's like not running compounds and such. But actually at my peak last July, I was 260 pounds. So I've lost 45 pounds since then. I'm trying to get down to about 95 kilos, which is 209 pounds, and walk around at that weight. And then I can compete for powerlifting at 198, 90 kilos. So that's my game plan. But I noticed what you said as well. Like, I feel like a much better person now. My mind is clearer. I am not controlled by libido. I'm not as impulsive. I'm much more patient. I felt that the lower my testosterone was, the less irritable I was as well. Like, if my testosterone, the higher it gets, the more irritable I get about certain things.
Yeah, same me. And it doesn't matter which compounds, which androgens I take, whether that's considered to be mild. When the androgens go up, I'm just more irritable and snappy, and less tolerant of things. And and I also wonder if like do you train with aggression or a certain lingering mood in the back of your head allowing you to train that heavy and that intensely, or you're at bliss and at peace when you train?
I get a little aggressive if it's heavy, but I'm much calmer than I used to be. Even when I was natural, I was aggressive.
But when you were on cycling before and training for maxes, where you're like in the back of your head, that's something going on that you don't really want to talk about? Because that's how I train.
Well, I was a psychopath on tren specifically. Like, that made me crazy. I was very angry. I was literally like, I could snap in a heartbeat about anything. It affected, I felt like I responded more strongly to tren than any other steroid. Like, I would take Anadrol and nothing would happen. Like, I wouldn't get that any stronger. I didn't feel anything. And I would try a million different sources because I couldn't figure this out. But anytime I would take tren, even 200 milligrams a week, tren ace, I was crazy. I would stare at people all day, like stare them down. I think they're looking at me and I want to like fight everyone. And I would freak out.
Good days.
That's why I stopped taking it 7 years ago. And my wife's
not good days. Yeah, you miss it when it's far away. But if it was recent, I used to go through that too. Or like just an impatience. If somebody, if you are having a conversation and somebody's not understanding something and they're annoying, just the level of anger that you can develop. I'm not the kind of
radiating off your face.
Yeah. I'm not how some people like hit a wall when they get mad? I'm not that kind of person. I had never done that my whole life. I've never hit a wall or thrown anything anywhere. But on tren, after like 4 months on tren, and your sleep isn't right and everything like that, I never hit a wall. But you want to hit yourself. You get so frustrated that people are not like.
You want to hear stuff, yeah. Even after you go to the gym and release all this frustration, still a couple hours later, you're ready to throw dishes,
Yeah,
for the smallest thing. It's unbelievable.
True story.
I worked as a doorman when I was on a lot of tren. I was jacked up on tren working as a doorman at a very popular club, and like one time a guy, like, I would deal with drunk people and I was sober, so I'd get pissed off at him all the time because they were annoying. And then a guy like dropped a beer bottle at my feet, and I felt super disrespected immediately. And I literally grabbed him and threw him out, and I said, "I'm going to kill you." I literally screamed at him, "I'm going to kill you." And this wasn't a full bar, and everyone was like, went silent. They were like, "Holy crap." And so the boss made the other bouncers watch me and follow me around all night because he thought I was going to snap. But I know I wasn't a good person. I know this. I'm not proud of that, but it's just, that's what it would do to me. Like,
well, it's not your choice. I mean, it's controlling it's putting that vigilant, hyper-vigilant state in your brain, whether you like it or not. So you're constantly, basically, I feel like when someone takes tren, they not only have a feeling of potency in themselves, but also a feeling of the need for hyper-vigilance, threat, and the need to be watchful. Constantly, whether you like it or not, you're just in that state mentally. So over time, it'll, I think, turn you into a different person.
It turns into this primal alpha beast. That's basically what I felt like, I felt like an animal all the time. And it was great while training, because you're literally the king of the gym, just training.
But Trenbolone has kind of an insecurity sometimes that comes with it. Like, yes, I get it at least. I don't know. Steve, you might have had, okay, me and got it. So, it's horrible. Because I could use like 2 grams of test. I feel like, God, that was perfect. Yeah. You walk around breathing.
I did that recently.
Machoism or whatever. You're breathing machoism. People sense that, and you feel confident. And the estradiol puts you in a good mood, like a Dianabol would. But then when I took Trenbolone, sure, I could be confident, but there was an element where I was sort of like some of the girls I've dated when they're on their period, where they would be a little bit unstable mentally. I would be sort of like that, like I was on my period. So like you would have a discussion with me, illogically, I would get jealous, or I would think my girlfriend's cheating on me or whatever. All the time I would think that. You constantly think everyone's cheating on you. I've never thought that before, but then once you start taking tren, everybody's cheating on you.
This is accurate. I felt jealous constantly. I was constantly worrying. I constantly thought people were staring at me. Like everything bothered me. I was super hyper vigilant all the time. I was ready to go at a moment's notice, ready to fight anybody. But the jealousy was crazy. Like it would drive you mad. Like you would literally start going insane. Anytime you weren't with your girlfriend, you're like thinking the worst. Exactly. And you're like, you'd freak out. Like it was bad.
It's so bad.
I didn't have that. I had the paranoia, that everybody's staring at you and that you want to fight all the time for no reason, or that you're irritated. But I didn't feel jealous.
You felt your relationships were stable while you were on tren? Did you notice more drama?
Well,
it sort of just happens. You don't even.
I did like one cycle of tren when I was with my wife, like 7 years ago, and we were dating at that time. And after a while, she's like, this shit's changing your personality. Maybe it's time to go off. But we didn't have arguments or anything like that. And then, I didn't really have relationships before that. I was just dating a lot of girls. So I wouldn't really get jealous because I was rotating them in and out while using Trenbolone. And then it feels like you're a porn star, right? When you're using Trenbolone. So most of them would call back and, go for another round or two.
Not for all guys.
It was productive for that sense,
Well, for a lot of people, that's true. But for example, for me, at higher doses, tren was harmful for sex drive, similar to Deca. For me, some people
I would run lower. Like I did that 1 gram of Trenbolone experiment for 4 weeks, and after that, I was running lower dosages.
The 1 gram, did it kill your sex drive?
I can't really remember. I was in.
Or not sex drive, but like erectile function and stuff like that. Not so much the libido. Oh no. Pete, this didn't happen to you either? You guys aren't sensitive?
I responded great to it. I mean, other than being a psychopath, I felt amazing.
That's so true. Yeah. It is true. Like the thing is, when we grew up, we wanted to fix the reputation of like roid rage and all that. We wanted to defend against it. So we were always claiming that it didn't exist. I've claimed that from when I was 15 years old. This is BS. People invent this. But the truth is it does exist if you use too much. It happens. But it's up to you how you deal with it. Like I never actually hit someone, but it was way harder to control myself. But
honestly, I think it's even there on hormone replacement, because my last cycle was 250 test and 200 primo, and my wife was telling me constantly, "You see, you're much more tolerable now than you were on your previous mini cycle."
Because you lowered the dose or raised it?
No, because I'm off cycle now, and I'm probably maybe because I'm so super tolerable right now because my test and estrogen is low. So my wife feels more dominant in this relationship now. She can finally get some decisions through, 2 more weeks and then it's game over.